What's going on, everybody? Dr. Maverick Gamer, guys, back yet again into some more Rocket League action. Today we're jumping into probably the last of the worst blueprint crate openings, blueprint reveal openings. I said crates, can't get away from them. That we're jumping into. We're gonna do Zephyrs. We're gonna knock out this 150, and then the episodes after this will be a little bit better. We got the ferocities still to do. But we're gonna knock these out, and then we'll save up. We're gonna finish out with all of the goodies. So sit back, relax. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully we can get some pretty good stuff. The last opening was really nuts, and hopefully you guys enjoy this one. If you are new, welcome to the channel. Thank you for stopping in. If you end up enjoying it, you guys know how YouTube works. Like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate all that. Continued viewers, thank you again for being here. Really, you guys keep the channel moving right around. Continue to make it so that I'm motivated to do these. So glad you guys are tuning back in. With all that being said, let's jump into it. See how we start. Little binary action. Not a whole lot in the Zephyr that I would be looking for. Minus those. Reactors are pretty cool, actually. So we would take those. Some good black markets. Tune and some of those nice things. There's a little cyclone action. We are streaming regularly, so be sure to stop in. Again, if you are new, we got links in the description down below, so you can take a look at that. What else is going on? Let's talk about, as we get rolling through these, let's talk about this past weekend. It's almost this past, it was a little bit longer than the weekend. I'm going to call it the server controversy. I don't know how else to describe it. So if you're not familiar, maybe you didn't tune into the game, maybe you were gone for the weekend, maybe you just play this game periodically and kind of just jump in every once in a while. These are black. Oh, these are pretty dope. That's a really good pull, actually. I'm a little upset it's not white, but black dynamos those are pretty sick, actually. Those are pretty sick. If we were to open these in a crate, I would be ecstatic. This is pretty cool. That's a solid color. I mean, we would have preferred black reactors, but we'll definitely take the dynamos exotic. Not bad. Not bad at all. So jumping back, rather, talk about it. Long story short, they had to postpone RLCS, the kickoff to RLCS, because of server issues. And then for a lot of players, for a good period of the weekend, really extending even before the weekend, servers were down, they were back up. I really don't know exactly what happened, but they had some pretty significant server issues, and for a period of time basically just turned it all off. They then started to slowly roll. This was kind of throughout, I think, Saturday evening and into Sunday. They started to roll out, putting people into like this maintenance mode so that you could at least jump into games, but none of the challenges or rocket pass or any of that stuff worked. And then they started to roll more people onto that. They put the game basically into maintenance mode, and then after that they got everything back up and running and working, and it seems to be all fixed. But this just kind of highlights this one problem that it's not only Rocket League. Rocket League has felt like it has suffered from this the worst, probably of the games that I've played over the course of my time. I think part of it is just because this game... Oh! Now that's a good pull. This is actually a really good pull. That's a solid cert. Really good, obviously, color. Cyclone's not really that popular. I'm gonna have to see what which one I have. I know I have a white one. I don't know if I have it cert. We may end up crafting this, actually. That's pretty cool. That's a good solid rip. Starting off not bad for the first 50. So it highlights a big point that I'm gonna make, which is having enough servers, having enough to handle, the flow of the people getting into the game, allowing people, having enough server options in the right places to make it so that you're not, trying to reach a server, halfway across your country or halfway across the world, rather, in order to play a game is big. It's big for a lot of games. Rocket League has felt like it's always struggled with this, and I think the biggest reason is, unlike a game like, let's say, Call of Duty, which, again, has a lot of support, so they put a lot of money into it. Not saying Rocket League doesn't, but they're not really super comparable in those terms. But in a game like Call of Duty, it's important that you have good, essentially a good ping, where your inputs are happening as close to real time as they can. Nice. We're doing really good on the white today in the imports. That's solid. Nice virtual wave. But you also get an opportunity in the game like that where, again, unless you're playing like Search and Destroy, it's probably not going to change the course of the game if you get a bad ping or you get a little bit of lag every once in a while. A game like Rocket League can be just heart-wrenching when that happens. Lagging out, having issues like that, especially in a really tight game, can be the goal that makes the difference. And if you're really trying to grind ranked, you're trying to move your way up, little things like that are really going to be big frustration points. This game has also really suffered from some servers just being really terrible, like terrible to the point where they're unplayable. And it wasn't until too long ago that we got the option to actually report the server so that they could get some additional data. And then, they've been collecting a lot more, giving you visual indicators of what issues are going on, which hopefully is, again, helping them identify those things. So with all that being said, this past weekend really just kind of highlights that point that, for a lot of games, and again, I'm playing a ton of Tarkov, and we got a tune. I'd like to see some color on this. I'm not going to lie. I really like this goal explosion. It's probably it's one of my favorites, and I used it for a long time. It's simple, it's funny. They can come painted, which is awesome. Now, it would have been cool to be able to pick one of those up, but we'll take the black market, and we'll be happy about it. So far, pretty good reveal. I can't say opening. Pretty good reveal. There's a black Chanico too. Some solid stuff in here. There's a purple one. Nice. We're really kind of popping off here. But you guys know, again, I've been playing a lot of Tarkov, and that game, it exploded in popularity over the last 2 weeks or so, and a rush of new players are coming into it, which is awesome. That's awesome for the game and the developers. But it just goes to show you that you should always, as a developer and as a studio, be ready to get the support for the servers that you need, and anticipate while they're a business and they don't want to spend an excess amount of money. You want to be able to have the servers that can support the game without having 200 extra or whatever it ends up being. I always feel like, though, game companies, especially with how fast games can turn and can catch on, you've got to be prepared. You've got to have a plan, and you've got to have the server support. And again, I don't know. I'm not going to even pretend to know what I think the issue was this weekend. They clearly had something pretty drastic go wrong. And I'm sure they get server providers from lots of different places. It's not all like one company that owns servers all over the world. But it just can't stop highlighting the point that as game companies, you've got to be ready. Like, this is the one thing that just crushed this game, You couldn't do anything. You couldn't play games. You couldn't trade. Arguably the two biggest things that people do in this game completely got locked down over a weekend, and that pushed people to go do other things. Again, I know Tarkov, for me, server times were really, really bad. People have been consistently complaining about match times. I've been pretty lucky. I've had pretty decent match times, but the other night they were 15, 20-minute match times for me, and I was like, I'm not going to continue to support that. This game, again, the lag spikes, the inconsistency of a good connection, especially when you yourself are running a good connection, is quite frustrating. So really interesting. I'm glad they got it back up. I'm glad things are back working. Hopefully, a lot of companies are kind of catching on to the fact that they've got to be prepared, they've got to be ready, and hopefully they realize that they've just got to have the support ready for just the load that the game is going to take from people jumping on, especially with all these games being so focused on the online interactivity. It's just really unfortunate that they had that to go through, but hopefully we can move past it. Hopefully it prompts them to do much more and mo better with all of their servers and everything they got. I know a lot of the community would really, really appreciate that, and hopefully they helped help fix other issues outside of just whatever happened for the crash this weekend. And hopefully it doesn't ever happen again. But technology is technology. Things are going to break. So we've kind of slowed down here. The back bit. We've gotten quite a few exotics this turn. Only the one painted though, which is a little unfortunate. We've gotten some pretty good decals across. I would argue that the Chanico is probably one of the not very popular Octane decals, so it's actually kind of cool to have some of those. We got the Tune. We end up picking up the Black Dynamos. And that's it. That's what we wrap up. Not fantastic, but some pretty good stuff. Again, the Tune is pretty cool, so we continue our black market streak. Clearly no titanium white mainframe like last time, but again, the Black Dynamo was pretty cool. That titanium white Tactician Cyclone, which we're actually going to check out to see. Okay, so mine is just, mine's a sweeper. We'll keep that. That's a pretty good blueprint. We'll keep that one in the back in case anybody wants to put a Tactician set together or something of the cars. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you didn't mind me rambling. I'm really curious to hear what you think on just kind of what happened this past weekend. What'd you do instead? And how do you feel about this game and the servers and everything else like that? And hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Again, we'll have Ferocities next, and then we'll get into the good crates. So hang out for a couple more weeks with me as we continue to open this. Other games coming up on the channel, 100% for sure. So stay tuned for all of that stuff as well. Again, streaming pretty regularly. Follow us over there on Twitch and come hang out. We've had quite a bit of fun these past few weekends getting some folks together. And I know the time frame doesn't always work, but appreciate any time that you can stop in. Really do appreciate being able to chat with you guys and interact. It's just a ton of fun. So I've been Doc, Average Gamer, guys. As always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.